Hey y'all, what you doing? I just came back from my mammogram and right now I'm gonna go into Barnes & Noble's, a 2-story one, which makes my heart so happy because as we all know, that's what we deserve and more after doing our mammogram every year. I'm even appropriately dressed in pink. I mean, it's just what I grabbed out the door and I was like, wow, how appropriate. Speaking of which, I have a sister who's a breast cancer survivor, so there's another big reason for me to encourage you to get your mammograms every year. And I also wanted to make this video to share 3 specific things that have really helped me feel great in my 40s, and I didn't think it was possible. First one would be, might sound obvious, but it would be to just advocate for yourself, to not be afraid or ashamed to admit when you're not feeling great and you need help. To go to your doctor and let them know what's going on, how you're feeling. It used to be back in the day, women that were, at our age range that had uncomfortable symptoms, but maybe their labs were considered normal, they were considered whiny women, which is absurd. And even though things are changing, and I do believe they are, and I have experience to really believe that they are, but I think that still in the back of our heads, we're still afraid of being seen as that, being seen as crazy, because frankly, we feel crazy because in our heads, rationally, we know that what we're feeling is so different from the norm, but we don't know where it's coming from. We don't know what to do with it. I have a friend who described it so perfectly. She said, I felt like there was an alien living inside of me, an angry alien. See, I can't even speak. Even though in our heads we know this is a crazy reaction to a small thing, but you just have these emotional fluctuations or all these other symptoms that really vary from person to person. But I feel like I got them all. I got the hot flashes, I got the brain fog, difficulty sleeping, you name it, all the textbook perimenopausal symptoms. I have had them. Now, as much as I would like to, I do not think it's responsible for me to tell you which medications or supplements are helping me feel better, because I really believe you need to talk to your doctor, figure out in your specific case what will make you feel better. But there is help out there. That's what I want you to know. Technology has evolved enough, and people's awareness has also evolved enough to address these symptoms, to address what we're going through. So seek out help and resources because they're out there. My number 2 tip would be to embrace change. Now, another thing that might sound obvious on paper, but it's really hard when you're going through it, when the things that you used to do to address, like if you wanted to lose a couple pounds, or if you wanted to improve your sleep, everything that you used to do for your self-improvement when you were younger doesn't quite seem to be working. Let me give you an example. In my 30s, I became a gym rat. I actually loved going to the gym. It was my therapy, and I could not imagine keeping a healthy, fit lifestyle without being at the gym, because I just loved the energy of everybody pursuing the same thing, and it just pumped me up, and it really worked for where I was at right then. And then I don't know what happened when I turned 40. I've always been a highly allergic person. I did an allergy test a few years back and it turned out I'm pan sensitive. I'm like, well, that explains my whole existence, why I'm just constantly uncomfortable. I'm more easily flared up. I'm on medication for rosacea because that's something that I didn't have back then. One time I was working out at the gym and then this group of guys came in, and I could smell that they were all smokers. And that alone, they weren't smoking inside the gym, but just because they smelled like they had just smoked, maybe outside, my rosacea flared up really badly. And when you're at the gym, you're already sweating, so that already made me prone to have a rosacea flare up. So things like that made me much less excited to go to the gym, made it much less of a place that pumped me up. Instead, I just wanted to finish my workouts the quickest I could, and maybe do even less than I was supposed to, so I could get out of there and be safe from anything that could flare up another allergic reaction. Now, I will admit that for a while I thought, well, then I just won't do anything then. and that did not work because we do need to keep moving. Even if we can't do it quite the way we used to when we were younger, our bodies need for functioning, for us to feel good, not even for looks. You need to find a way to keep moving. What I did was that I got a treadmill, like a thinner treadmill that would fit in between my bed and the wall and right in front of the TV in our bedroom. And it has been so great. I'll insert a clip of me waving to you all while I'm in the middle of my almost daily walks. Sometimes life gets too crazy and I can't even do that. But I put on a show that my husband's not excited to watch with me because I'm really into thrillers more than he is. I'm watching right now The Beast in Me with Claire Danes. Have you guys seen it? It's awesome. It's become my me time and I'm going faster and faster. Right now I'm basically at the same speed that I used to do when I was a gym rat. But I get to do it in my home, in my sanitized environment, and it's been great. So don't be afraid to change things up and find new solutions, and it's okay. It does not mean that you're less than, that you'll be less healthy. It's just a new you, and you might need new things. You do need new things when you get to this stage. It just is what it is. Another big shift in our stage of life is in our priorities. I used to be a therapist, and one of my favorite theories, it was called Erik Erikson, and he theorized that we have life stages and we have different things that we must accomplish in these life stages in order to move forward successfully to the next one. In our 40s, he called it generativity versus stagnation. We crave feeling productive, we crave feeling like we're contributing to society versus feeling just stagnant, self-absorbed, and not really connected, not really productive. And that's a change from the stage before that he called intimacy versus isolation, which it makes sense in our early adult years. We're trying to find our home away from our original home, right? We're trying to find our people, our new support systems. So we want to bond with people, want to find a significant other or whoever is going to be our chosen family. So it makes sense in my head why feeling attractive or feeling like, traditionally cute, that it's really important to us in our 20s or, in our early adulthood. But it's not so much when you're in your 40s, and it's not a bad thing. Doesn't mean that you let yourself go. It doesn't mean that you're less attractive. It just means that now when you're talking to somebody, you really want to contribute to their life, and that's forefront in your mind. Probably because you've seen some things, some things now that you didn't know when you were younger, so you can contribute to people's lives a lot more than you did back then. Embrace that. Let's celebrate that. Find joy in knowing that, wow, I made someone smile today, and that's more important than, whether they found me frumpy or not. On that vein, my third tip would be to embrace community, not isolate yourself, just because it's so much harder to meet new friends, to make friends at our age, because you're unless you're very intentional about it, you're in less social situations. But I really encourage you to try to find people at this age range to make you see I'm not alone. What I'm feeling is not out of the ordinary. You find so many women going through the same things, having the same emotions, having the same transitions that you're going through, and that can make a huge difference. Not only you guys can talk about different resources, but also just be there for each other. The internet is great to find people like that. I'm here. Please, let's connect. Follow me on my social media. I love making new internet friends, but also in person. I think it's important to have people that you see with your own eyes in your real life, that make you feel normal in your own life, that gives you a sense of community. I love going to church, and through my church I found a small group that's a writing group, and that I love to death. I didn't know I was gonna find people my age there, but I have. It's so great when you talk about a symptom that you think only you have had, like never heard of it. You see everybody going, yep, me too. That makes such a difference. So find your people, join a class, join a book club, find a church, find somewhere that you can just open up and exchange information about this phase in life, because it does vary from person to person, but what you're feeling is so much more normal than it feels. Now I'm gonna enjoy my last minutes of peace at Barnes & Noble before I go get my teen from school. Let me know in the comments what's making you feel good in your 40s. Let's share information. That's what the comment section is for, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. It's probably gonna be about the books I'm looking forward to reading or that I'm already reading in this holiday season. If you have any recommendations, please let me know in the comments too. And I will see you on the next video. Like if you like this, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.